called Snowfalls. She wakes to a morning with no reason for living, cries in the mirror to be forgiven, puts on her makeup, takes off her clothes, sits there and bleeds until she can't feel the blood in her veins runs cold. The cat cries to be fed, the batteries in her Walkman go dead, the Rachmaninoff stops. A letter she will never read drops on the welcome mat. Somewhere a mobile rings and stops. A member of a minor political party looking for her vote rings her doorbell twice, slips on the ice and ruins his coat. Curses. A man laughs at another man's joke. It's a big laugh, he's a big bloke. Laughter invades the square. There's a chill in the air. Her best friend calls for her to go on a blind date. She does not hear. Snow, snow, snow falls. Thank you. And this is called Preserve. I'm going to be sneezed at. You okay?
I'll be fine.
You want a handkerchief?
No, it's not handkerchief, thank you.
Got one of these magician's handkerchiefs.
It'd change colour by the time I gave it back.
That's true, that's true. Or else the bunny rabbit will drum a bandit or something. I can always pull a rabbit from a hat. I just can't get the go back in again. Now I'm doing stand-up. Back to the poetry. This is called Preserve. Tongues stained with blackberries, we collect kisses, falling into ditches, being stung by nettles. Your dress snags on a briar, and you cry out in mock horror. I cut my way through the tangle of thorns as if I were your prince. Charming me, you undo your buttons, step out of your dress as if you were stepping out of yourself. Your dress hangs like a chrysalis. You let down your golden hair and we make love then and there, a tractor and some cows go by. We laugh and try to hide. The sun beats down on my bum, we giggle and come, return to the big old dirty town and turn our blackberry picking days into luscious winter jam. Thank you. I will get back onto the page. Now I'm just after writing this. This is called Here, Buckle, and I don't know if you can get a poem from 3 words, but that's The Wind Hover by German Hopkins. Right? So I don't just like poems. I have them interwoven into my life as well, so I can't possibly escape the poem because I'd have to untrade the warp and woof of me to actually get it back out again. So it's perfect. So this is called Here, Buckle, and I have somehow escaped, don't ask me how, the ritual of the head plunged down the toilet bowl, this the welcome to secondary school, and flushed their laughter and power. They have bidden their time well, and although I believed I have outfoxed them, they have outfoxed me. I tremble on my spindly 12-year-old legs, surrounded by the sneering pack. They hang me up from a coat peg, laughing with great glee as I try to free myself, but can't. I like a living coat refusing to be closed. Then they tear page by page my poetry book to pieces. Pages like paper bees crushed crumple at my feet. They make me eat Hopkins. I spit them out, gasping for breath. My tongue rebels and I fling Father Hopkins at them. They recoil in astonished amazement. I caught this morning's minion, kingdom of daylight's doffin, dapple, drawn, von. The words sting them into stunned silence. This is not how it should be. My jacket tears and I fall at their feet, my voice soaring now above them. Times told lovelier, more dangerous, oh my chevalier. They run from the beauty of the words. I pick, one by one, up the fallen pages. And blue bleak embers, ah my dear, fall, gall themselves, and gash gold vermilion. The bell rings for mass. Thank you. This is called I Wear Long Sleeves Even in Summer. Blue bruises bloom on my skin. I wear long sleeves even in summer. First I lost my smile, it somehow floated away. Blue bruises bloom on my skin. Next I lost my flesh until I was nothing but skin and bone. My curves, my breasts vanished into themselves. All something is grass, I quoted to myself. I wear long sleeves even in summer. The woman in the mirror who claims she's me isn't. A stranger holds my eye. I look away. Blue bruises bloom on my skin. I wear long sleeves even in summer. Over in America, we were given the word kitchen, and we had to write a poem about a kitchen. So I wrote a poem about a kitchen. This is my kitchen poem, alright? It's called So Much for the Weather Forecast. It was raining in the kitchen. Splish splash said my footsteps, enjoying themselves like never before. It was like a swamp. The butter was swimming in its blue bowl. The sugar had dissolved in its. The bread was sodden and was busy losing a lot of its breadiness. Little pieces of shit lazily floated from the cat's litter. The sink had half a sink of rain in it, as well as last night's dirty dishes. The kettle with the lid left off had filled itself twice. It had never rained in the kitchen before. The book left open on page 69 was dying. The mobile phone looked like it wasn't having an exactly good time. The stone that some kids had thrown sat on the table like a king on its throne. The broken skylight gathered around it, listening like flunkies to everything the stone had said. The birthday cake lay dead. The ink on the letter wet copiously, ran away crying. Responde, s'il vous plaît. It was raining in the kitchen. Damn, we both said in unison. Damn. Okay. I was never no good at maths. See that? Use of a double negative, never no good. This is called parallel lines. It's the only thing I could understand in maths because I could actually see it. Parallel lines do not meet. But then even in maths, that's not exactly true, alright? I remember when I was 12 and we were doing Pythagoras' theorem. And it said a square and the hypotenuse equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. I still remember that. Why do I remember that? Because I had it beaten into me, that's why. And beaten into me. So although I don't know what it means, I know it off by heart. And one guy said, what we learned that for so? We're never going to use that in real life. And I was always determined to use that in real life. So, I'm not a dancer. I was a weedy nerd. I'm just a hairy weedy nerd now, but I was just a nerd, simple nerd back then. And I was at my first disco, and my first, no, I might say last disco. And there was this beautiful blonde over there, and all my friends said, I bet you wouldn't go and ask her. And I said, no, I wouldn't. Damn right I wouldn't. They'd go on. So I thought, she's going to refuse me anyway, so it's no harm in trying. So I went across to her and I said, excuse me, love. But the square in your hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. And she slapped me in the face! And she left this big red imprint on me. And I had to walk all the long way back to the guys, and they're going, And I was sitting down, and they're going, better scrap her, Donnie, she's coming over. And she came over again. I thought, oh no, she's going to hit me on the other side now. And she got a beer mat, and she drew Pythagoras' diagram, and she explained why the square of life happens. And she, underneath, QED, and she put her telephone in. So, they say Pythagoras' theorem, what use? Oh, there you go. Never get a child blind like that, do you? Anyway, this is called Parallel Lines Do Not Meet. Happiness is not a mathematical formula that one can apply to supply an answer. Rather, it is the sum of who you are multiplied by who you are willing to be. Happiness, like mathematics, is something I was never ever any good at, and always made me weep with equal parts desperation, frustration, and exasperation, or death for short. For example, if it took a man a lifetime to dig himself into a hole, how long would it take for half the man he used to be to dig himself out again? Questions such as this only cause me grief. In mathematics, like Latin, which I could also never know, I would cheat and repeat words full of sound and no sense, e.g., the cares of the hippopotamus are equal to some of the cares of the virtual hippopotamus I can find. Happiness, like mathematics, was all Greek to me. I don't know, that's all I know. But I do know that happiness happens. every now and then. The only trick is to be aware that it's there and that parallel lines do meet at infinity. Thank you. Right, we finish this up. Are you all aware of the shipping forecast, that iconic oral experience at night? Putting out bringing in the cat, putting out the milk bottles and all that sort of stuff, yeah? It goes, finish rain, rock, blah, blah, blah. This is called. And now the relationship crisis forecast issued by the sane side of yourself on behalf of the Merry Time and Keep Up Your Guard agency. The general synopsis of midlife is late 40s, dogged by blighted love life. Now, new all-time low expected by that time. Sex, occasionally very poor at first, becoming moderate or good. Fuck all, hand over fist, wanker. Marriage, 3 or 4, becoming a bore. Blonde man trap, 24, 24, 34. Sexiness, Fitzroy, formerly Phyllis Dare. Affair deepening rapidly, expected imminent. Getting carried away, hoisted by one's own petard. Chances it'll work out alright. Moderate, becoming increasingly slight. Fair Isle sweater left carelessly behind in car. Oh, big mistake. Violence, storm warning. Boyfriend built like Viking. Mulp, knocked over, white. Becoming cyclonic, moronic. Severe icing. Oh shite, despair, panic, flight. What more could go wrong? Chelsea 2, West Ham 1. Town gossip, Lundy Fastnet informs wife. Accused of infidelities, backing off into continuous lying. Veering towards disbelief, clothes thrown out in street. Locks changed. Caught fast in net like trashing fish. Future visibility moderate, becoming poor in showers. Drunk again, singing in the rain. What's it all about?